So if a seller of real estate accepted gold coins in payment for a property that is valued at $500,000 paper currency, could he legally accept 10,000 gold coins that are denominated at $50 each, resulting in his actual value for the sale of 10,000 times $1,300, or $13 million? On one hand, $50 paper is worth $50, but a $50 gold coin could be worth $1,300. What do you think?
What's the question? Well, I mean, I don't know why anybody would want to buy a house based on the face value of a gold coin. If there's any change of gold between a buyer and a seller, it's a mutual agreement. If I'm a buyer, if I'm a seller of a home, I suppose I can accept anything as long as my mortgage is paid. I mean, you know. So I don't understand quite the question.
Well, it says here, Melody knows everything.
Well, I do, but I have to understand the question.
So we really haven't answered the question. So we're going to get thrown off the air.
Is that what we're going to do? Is that what they're going to do?
Bosco sent it from Windsor, Ontario.
Bosco. Plus, I would have to think it would depend on a lot of the different legalities of each country, too, if he's talking strictly Canadian or... So what say you?
Do you have any questions?
Mm-hmm. What would you respond?
Well, first of all, the $50 designation on the coin doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't.
So, if somebody wanted to accept gold coins at $1,300 a piece in exchange for property, I would think that would be doable.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't do that. I don't want property.
Well, here's a question in from Johnny. This is according to Al Jazeera. The unemployment rate in the countries that share the euro has hit its highest level in almost 12 years, statistics have shown. The Eurostat said on Tuesday that the jobless rate in the 16-nation Eurozone had climbed to 10.1%, or 15.8 million, in April from 10% a month earlier. Is this understated, similar to ours?
Of course, they don't lie. Go back to the pharaohs, they lied. You know, it's just a syndrome, a human syndrome. They do what they want to do because they can get away with it. So, whatever the coin is, if it's a 1-ounce coin, well, bullion is selling at $1,300 or thereabouts. That's what it's worth.
Here's a question. This is in from SK. This is about when the euro crashes. Do you think Germany will go back to the Deutschmark? If so, what types of effects will this have on the German people? And finally, how will all those Germans who have home mortgage and other debt be affected?
First of all, the Germans would love to have the Deutschmark back. Probably 70% of them. And that's a fairly large majority. They didn't want to join in the first place. I mean, it was already gotten trashed. I mean, from 160 down to, we'll say, almost 120. that has to be a very important issue. And so the writer said, if it crashes, it's already crashed. The question is, how bad is it going to get? I think it's going to get down to even. And that's what we see coming in the figures that we, have been exposed to. And so I think it'll continue to be under pressure. Greece is going to have to default and get out of the euro, and I think others will as well. And there has been talk of a new northern currency, or currency that serves the stronger European countries, but they're still overlooking the fact and ignoring the fact, and it's so important. There's tremendous cultural divides in each country, never mind from country to country, and you can't use one interest rates for everybody. And so it's never going to work.
Bob, my memory is failing me right now, but what was the issue when the euro dropped to wasn't it 116 3-4 years ago? What pushed it down there? Was it just, I can't, I mean,
well, the euro sold down to, I think it was 89, and that was about almost 10 years ago.
Well, 4 years ago it went down to 116, I believe, or down there somewhere.
Yeah, you're right. And I can't remember what the reasons were at that time. It could have been official selling. I just don't know, because I have to get everything in frame, and I can't do that because I don't have enough information.
Maybe that would have been when their constitution wasn't originally, when they didn't finish their signing.
Oh, I don't know that they've even done that yet.
Yeah.
We know they think they're close on it, but if one of the countries that's sitting in the round table, so to speak, financially gets lopped off, it's going to be followed by others. And I think they're in contact with each other, and I think on these kinds of matters, and I think they've discussed the possibilities of the end of the euro and going back to euro currency, and it wouldn't be difficult. And so I think that is going to happen. The people who were running Italy, Greece, Spain, Ireland, and Greece, I think most of them didn't get it. I don't think they really understood what was going on. We had a time when there was kind of a decision that had to be made as to what to do, and everybody went forward with the euro, the 16 countries, the 14 at that time, and the European Union stood by the rest of them and said, well, that's okay, all the best. But I got a piece in Saturday's issue coming up. I just got it today from Ireland. I mean, Ireland is really broke. It's a terrible mess. And so is in Spain. And we have some countries that are on the edge. And they're going to continue to stay there until they go bankrupt. And many of them, perhaps even all of them, might go bankrupt. You know, I don't think people have a clue to what's going on. And people who are well educated in responsible positions, I don't think they know. And many of them don't care. I had a letter today. A fellow played golf. Afterwards, they sat down and had a drink. And he asked him, what the attorney, well, what do you think about the situation in California? His answer was, I just hope they keep on printing dollars.